Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi mate, all right.
Hi, sir. Patrice.
Patrice,
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Jaume, hola.
Hi, ¿qué tal?
Das ist
No, you're over here,
Oh,
buddy.
here, okay, great.
What's the microphone?
All right.
It's almost...
Well, of course, I'm a bit confused. I mean, this is like seeing you guys in the plane in the beginning. We're here in Berlin. The Alon, Jaume, Liam. This is non-stop we're talking about, not unknown, right?
Yeah, it's a combination.
This is an unknown non-stop.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not the first time we've been working together. As I just mentioned, like unknown was the first time you guys been hanging around and being back here after you devastated it. As far as I can tell about the end of Unknown, at least we can talk about that one.
The management let us back in.
I know.
Totally surprised. But
I actually have to come back every year to check, make sure it's still all right. Make sure that nobody has taken the movie as an idea.
No, but it's really a pleasant experience because first of all, I really need to know about this non-stop movie because seriously, it's not even shot in 3D. There are no vampires, no love story. Basically, it's not a Star Wars episode. So, what do you think is really going to make that movie successful?
it's a real thriller whodunit that may pay a homage to some of those early films in the 40s and 50s, 1940s, 1950s, where you had to guess who the culprit might be. Is it she, is it him, is it them? So I think audiences like that. They like being teased and like trying to figure out a puzzle.
Well, then I can tell you, as I've seen it, you did a great job. Really, till the end, I wasn't really sure if it's really him, it's her, it's maybe even that little child. You never know. I mean, I don't want to give a spoiler away, so I was very, very excited. So maybe you could tell me something about the process, how you've been creating that amazing pace of suspense. I mean, what's the formula? It's the acting, is the directing?
That's this guy.
No, I mean, it's always putting yourself in the shoes of the audience, and if you surprise yourself as you come up with these ideas and you get excited and you personally don't even know who the bad guy is, and I didn't know as I was doing some tweaks to the script. I didn't know who it was. You just create the characters, and then by the time that you reach the end, you figure it out yourself, and that's exciting, and that's what's in the movie. Because if you do the reverse, if you try to reverse engineer it, sometimes the clues are too obvious and everybody can see through it. So I just try to surprise myself, be always the audience. I am the first audience member. I'm the first one that sees the monitor. I'm the first one, and I have to be honest and surprise myself.
And what I also felt, as I said, it's really more about the story that I was really, really eager just to know what is really behind all this entire story. But also there's some action in it. And I must say, I'm an admirer of your body of work in terms of you're 61 right now, right?
61, huh?
And you seem so much fitter than I am right now with 39.
61's the new 39.
So, I mean, some colleagues would say oh, you know what, I'm not into these action parts anymore, but you still seem to attract pretty much all of these scenes. Is it a compliment, or you feel oh, come on, just give me some more love stories, it's easier?
No, at the moment it's a compliment, and I had a particular success with Taken at the age of 55, and Hollywood started sending me more action scripts. I'm very honored and flattered. I love doing them. I especially love doing them with Jaume.
There were also some notions in that movie that I was very pleased about, which of course helped also just to create that suspense when it came to profiling. I mean, there's this one particular scene where you, as the Sky Marshal, walking through the terminal and really focusing on everyone and every individual. Was it on purpose that is it that you had to take someone who apparently has a Muslim background, which is of course one of the big issues when it comes to 9/11 and terrorism, all of these kind of things. Yeah. How easy or tricky was it actually just to come up with that kind of topic?
It's not easy, it's not tricky at all. I mean, that's the world that we live in, and it's reality. I mean, I look Arab, so I'm sometimes in that other situation. And the good thing here is that we had a character whose job was it to do that. And I think it gave us a great setup to judge those people, and then through the course of the movie realize who they really are. And that only can happen in this movie, because in other movies it's usually too much about one or two characters, but here it's about 10, and that's why I think it works so well.
Again, it's been a great job also with from cop to cop, all of these kind of moments, the colleague moment, and just like how this entire thing has been built up. About your experience and when you were preparing to that movie, was it really more reassuring that you learned more and more about like how sky marshals are operating, or is it actually quite the opposite that you rather feel now safe in a train?
Well, Jaume got together with Air Marshals to work out various scenarios, what would work, what would be realistic. I certainly worked with a couple of them, and one in particular who actually trains Air Marshals for various situations. So that was very, very informative.
So you feel now safer? Is it because I'm kind of afraid of flying
Yeah,
a bit?
we all have a little fear of flying. That's, of course, there's a big chunk of metal, 30,000 feet in the air. Of course, there's a certain level of fear, you know. But airplanes have never been safer, you know.
But is it that now you guys are more aware whenever you're like in a plane, you just are looking out and see like, oh, this could be the sky marshal, it has to be the sky marshal, or you really leave that behind now?
I leave it behind. I don't really try and figure that out, you know. I do feel safer now on airplanes because of all the security that we all have to go through in every airport. I do, and I enjoy the flights more because I feel safer.
But so you feel that this is a necessity to have sky marshals, so you also believe in the entire system of security? Because some people might think that security really doesn't help at all, because that sometimes is even quite exaggerated. What are your thoughts on that?
You need the system. I mean, the system, there's no perfect systems, but you need a system. No system would lead to pure anarchy, you know, so you need, and the system is imperfect, but the system needs to keep evolving, and that's what they do.
And it does,
Yeah.
on those airplanes. It evolves all the time, these federal marshals.
And one thing that I would like to know is about your thoughts and your relationship towards now modern communication, as cell phones apparently are a big part of this experience nonstop. Is it that you are also aware of like this entire different media era in which we're living? Because of course it's also influenced what passenger has been exchanging with each other to the degree that it also influenced like the outgoing of this entire experience nonstop. So what are your thoughts? Are you annoyed by cell phones, or you feel like?
The thing is that you know, when you watch a movie, like a Hitchcock movie, like this 15 minutes are just devoted to him getting to a payphone to make that call. You know, that was like a big thing. It's like there's one phone in the town and he has to get to it. Now, that has, you know, the cell phones for a while ruined thrillers, because you could just call the bad guy, you know, call your wife or Google it. So what we have to do is use it in reverse. So those cell phones and information causes a problem to the main character. So if he's trying to control the situation, the people's access to information makes it more difficult for him to control it. You know, and you just use it as a thriller element, but in reverse.
And it makes it more sinister, you know. So in our film, the text that appear on screen becomes another character, you know, as well as the person or persons that's sending the text, you know.
And as a last question, as I would just like about the development of such a movie, because what I fear sometimes, and I also see the necessity to certain degrees, that you need also some sponsors and altogether like people that help you out. But I just felt like there's no specific product placement within that movie. Was that ever a challenge that maybe like a producer like Joel Silver would say like, hey, you know, if you just put in that specific cell phone, we could, you know, come up with another 5 million and just make it more brighter.
I mean, if they give me 5 million, I'll put the cell phone myself. So no, I would be the one voting for it. No, if all you get is the cell phone for free. So in case you have to break it, you save $200. But that's all the product placement that you could potentially get. That's a myth that somebody will pay millions for a product.
Okay, but you will be open for it.
I would just give me the product. Give me the product. Then. I have
as
no
long as
problem.
you will have a share of it then, or?
No, it's fine. We use it. Products are part of real life. Who cares if it's one brand or the other? They're part of it. So if that's going to give you more money to do better, cooler stuff, I'll use it.
All right, then.
I'm very practical. Sorry, but that's the reality.
All right, then all I have to say is really I was very, very highly impressed by that movie. It's
Thanks,
really non-stop, really fits it perfectly. As I said, no kidnapping, no Star Wars, not even in 3D. still worth it watching it. And in the end, what is it about Joel Silver in Berlin and that you guys hear that often? That I would like to know.
Because
We
it's a
love
great
that.
city. Well, it's fantastic to. Well, we didn't shoot here with for non-stop, but certainly in Unknown, it was terrific.
We love the hot chocolate at the Atlan.
Oh yeah, this is pretty good.
Great studio, too.
Yeah.
Fantastic studio. The oldest studio in the world.
Babelsberg, right?
Babelsberg, yeah.
Yeah, Babelsberg.
No, then thank you so much really for having the time and enjoy your stay here in Berlin and lots of success with that movie.
Thanks, man.